All right, get ready to dive deep into back fat. We're going to figure out how to banish it for good.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Our listeners sent us some awesome YouTube fitness videos, and I am so pumped to break them down with you.
So many different approaches. It's going to be interesting to see what we find.
For sure. So, first up, just looking at these videos, I noticed right away that there are a ton of different workout styles. I mean, we've
Yeah.
got everything from like quick targeting routines to full body blasts, and even
Yeah.
some stuff on fasting.
Hmm.
So, let's just start with like the workouts.
Okay.
Some of these YouTubers, like Haley C., she focuses a lot on seated exercises, which I think is
Hmm.
awesome for accessibility.
Totally.
You know, her 10-minute arm workout uses movements like she calls them pouring something heavy
Yeah.
to really work those back muscles,
Yeah.
but you don't even have to stand up. What do you think about that approach?
Um, I think it's amazing, like especially for beginners or people with mobility issues.
Right.
It's still working those muscles, but it's like gentle on your joints.
Yeah,
So Haley C's videos are a great place to start if you're just getting into exercise or, you're looking for something super easy to fit into your day.
exactly. And then there's Emmy Wong. She is all about
Posture.
posture.
Yes.
Her swimmer exercise where you like mimic swimming motions,
Mm-hmm.
that just seems like such a good way to strengthen those postural muscles and prevent that like rounded shoulder look that a lot of people get.
It's so interesting that she focuses on that because it's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
Good posture can actually help with back pain and improve your overall spinal health.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a total win-win.
Total win-win. And speaking of wins, we can't forget about Lucy Wyndham-Reed and her 7-minute challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Those bow and arrow arm movements that
Mm.
she does along with that whole full body approach.
Yes.
It just seems like such a good way to sneak in some back fat burning,
Yeah,
even on crazy busy days.
it is. It's like, you know what? You just busted the I don't have time excuse.
Right.
You can literally do it during a commercial break.
Totally.
And that consistency is so key.
Yes.
Like even those small bursts of activity really do add up over time.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got those targeted routines, we've got posture-focused exercises, and then these quick full-body blasts.
Yeah.
But then one of the sources you provided takes a completely different approach.
It's fast.
Fasting with
Okay.
Dr. Berg.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, fasting has definitely become really popular for weight loss.
Yeah,
Dr. Berg is like a major voice in that whole world.
totally.
What's important with his approach is understanding these three types of fat he talks about.
Okay.
There's liver fat, visceral fat, which is like around your organs,
Uh-huh.
and then subcutaneous fat, which is the fat we can see and pinch.
Okay.
His argument is that fasting tackles all three types.
Interesting. So he recommends these pretty significant fasting windows, like
Yeah.
18 to 23 hours, which I know
It sounds intense.
that sounds very intimidating for some
Yeah.
people. But he gives an example. He suggests, ending your last meal at like 7 p.m., skip breakfast,
Uh-huh.
and then have your next meal around noon the following day. That's already 18 hours.
Yeah, you're already there.
Which is more manageable
Yeah.
than it seems at first.
Exactly. It's really all about finding a rhythm that works for your life.
Right.
And Dr. Berg does emphasize that staying hydrated and managing your electrolytes during those fasting windows is key.
Okay, how do you do that?
He has some suggestions like adding a pinch of sea salt to your water, sipping on some apple cider vinegar with lemon juice, or even just enjoying some tea or coffee with a little bit of cream.
Okay. And he also talks about combining fasting with a ketogenic diet, right?
Oh yeah, keto's huge,
Yeah,
which is that low-carb, high-fat way of eating.
yeah.
And it can be really powerful when you combine it with fasting.
How so?
Well, because it encourages your body to burn even more fat for fuel.
Okay.
It's called metabolic switching.
Right.
Your body basically runs out of that readily available glucose from carbs, and it has to turn to your stored fat for energy.
Oh, wow. So we've got these awesome workout routines and then this whole other world of fasting and keto.
Yeah,
This is where I get a little lost. How do we put it all together to really maximize back fat blasting?
that is the million-dollar question, and that is exactly what we are going to explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Ooh, I can't wait. Let's do it. All right. So in part one, we explored all these amazing back workouts from fitness YouTubers, and then we got into the world of fasting with Dr. Berg.
Right.
Now, the question is, how do we actually combine these approaches to get those optimal back fat blasting results?
Okay, so this is where it gets really exciting.
Yeah.
It's like we're creating a personalized recipe
Ooh,
for back fat success
love it.
using the best ingredients from both worlds.
Okay, so let's start with the fasting part.
Okay?
Dr. Berg recommends those long fasting windows, 18 to 23 hours. Should our listener just jump right into that, or is there a more gradual way to do it?
Yeah, it's always a good idea to start gradually and really just listen to your body.
Okay.
So maybe starting with a shorter fasting window, like 12 or 14 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can slowly extend that fasting period as you get more comfortable.
Makes sense. It's like building up your fasting muscles.
Exactly.
So what about combining fasting with those workouts? Should you exercise during your fasting window, or is it better to work out after you break your fast?
That's a good question. There's not like a one-size-fits-all answer there.
Right.
It really depends on the person and their energy levels.
Okay.
Some people have more energy when they're fasting.
Really?
Some people need to fuel up first.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's really about finding what feels best for you.
totally trial and error.
Okay, I like that. And this is where those shorter workouts,
Yes.
like Lucy Wyndham Reed's 7-minute challenge or Haley C's 10-minute arm workout,
Perfect examples.
they come in handy.
Yes. Because even if you are feeling a little bit low energy during your fast, you can probably squeeze in one of those quick routines.
Totally. And even those short little bursts of activity,
Yeah,
they can make a big difference, especially when you combine it with the metabolic changes that are happening from the fasting.
absolutely. You're creating this like synergy where the fasting is helping to mobilize those fat stores and the exercise is helping to burn them off.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so now I know a lot of people get scared when they hear keto diet. They think restriction. But there are so many things you can eat.
It's true.
Avocados, nuts, seeds, leafy greens, delicious fatty fish.
Yeah,
It actually sounds pretty delicious.
right? It's not so bad.
Not bad at all.
It's really about shifting your focus
Okay,
from what you're giving up to what you're gaining,
I like that.
like delicious flavors, stable energy levels, and even a feeling of being full and satisfied,
Uh-huh.
which actually helps you stay on track with those fasting goals.
Okay, so we've got the fasting, the keto, the workouts. It's like a triple threat,
Yeah,
a three-pronged attack on back fat.
you got it.
But then there's the mental hurdle,
Yes.
that little voice in your head that's like, I can't fast for that long.
Uh-huh.
Or I'm never going to stick with this. How do you overcome that?
That is like the inner critic, right? That could be the biggest obstacle.
Yeah.
But the good news is we can actually retrain our brains
Okay.
to support our goals.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I can't fast for 18 hours,
Uh-huh.
try saying, I'm willing to try a 14-hour fast today and see how I feel.
Yeah, just experiment with it.
Exactly. Baby steps.
Okay.
And celebrating those small victories along the way.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so speaking of consistency,
Yeah.
let's talk about actually creating a plan that our listener can stick to.
Okay.
I mean, we've got all these amazing tools.
Yes.
The workouts, the fasting, the keto, but how do we actually help them weave it all into their life?
So this is where that personalization comes in.
Okay,
We have to think about our listener's schedule,
right.
their preferences,
Yeah.
their current fitness level.
Mm-hmm.
Are they an early bird or a night owl?
That's a good point.
Do they prefer high intensity or more gentle routines? What are their current eating habits?
Yeah. It's like putting together a puzzle,
Exactly.
finding all the right pieces that
Yeah.
fit together to create this like beautiful picture of health and well-being.
It really is. And the most important thing to remember is this isn't about depriving yourself or punishing yourself.
Right.
It's about making choices that feel good, that support your goals, and that you can sustain long term.
Yeah, sustainability is key. All right, so how do we turn all of this amazing information into actionable steps for our listener?
Well, that's what we're going to do in part 3 of our deep dive.
All right, so we've covered workouts, fasting, keto mindset. I mean, we really have gone deep.
We have. It's been a journey.
But now it's time to like bring it all home. How can our listener actually use this info and like get those back fat blasting results?
Okay, so now we're going to move from information to inspiration.
Oh, I like that.
We've given them the tools. Now it's about empowering them to use them in a way that feels personal and sustainable for them.
Okay, I'm ready. Where do we begin?
Let's picture our listener. Okay,
Okay.
thinking back to those YouTube videos, what kind of workout style do you think they'd like?
Well, they gave us Haley C's seated workout, so maybe they're looking for something that's accessible,
Right.
beginner friendly.
Makes sense.
But they also chose Emmy Wong, whose routines are more challenging and focus on posture.
Right. So they probably want to push themselves,
Yeah.
but they also care about proper form.
Exactly. And don't forget that Lucy Wyndham Reed 7-minute challenge.
Oh, yeah.
That just says to me they're busy,
Yeah.
but motivated.
Time crunch, but motivated.
Yes, exactly. So maybe a good place to start is incorporating some of those shorter workouts a few times a week.
I love that. Those short workouts could be a great way to build consistency,
Right.
which is what we want.
Yes. And then as our listener gets stronger and feels more confident,
Oh.
they can move on to those longer posture-focused sessions with Emmy Wong.
Right. It's like leveling up.
Yes. Love it. Okay, so what about the fasting piece?
Okay.
Should they just dive into those 18 to 23-hour windows that Dr. Berg recommends?
Maybe not right away. Let's meet them where they are.
Okay.
Maybe they just start by pushing back breakfast an hour or two,
Uh-huh.
create a natural 12 to 14-hour fasting window.
Totally. And then they can gradually extend it if they
Right.
feel up to it.
Yeah, exactly. And, they can experiment with the timing of their workouts, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some people really love those fasted morning workouts. This thing
Really?
gives them more energy
Huh.
and boosts their fat burning.
Interesting. Okay, and if they're doing keto, we want to make sure they're eating those nutrient-dense meals.
Totally.
Keep them full and satisfied even when they're fasting.
Yes, exactly.
We talked about some yummy keto recipes.
We did.
Avocado smoothies.
Yes.
Salmon with roasted veggies.
Mm-hmm.
A big salad with some grilled chicken.
That sounds so good.
I know, right? And it's all about changing how we think about dieting.
Yeah.
This isn't about restricting yourself. It's about nourishing your body and giving it what it needs to reach those goals.
Exactly. So we have the workouts. We've got a gradual approach to fasting and delicious keto-friendly food.
Perfect.
But we can't forget about mindset.
Right. That's so important.
We have to remind our listener to celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
To be kind to themselves if they slip up. And to find the joy in this process.
It should be fun.
It should be.
Not a punishment.
Right. It's about feeling good in your own skin.
Yes.
And celebrating what your body can do.
I love that. Okay, so I think the big takeaway for our listener today is
Yeah.
that they have the power to create a plan
Yes.
that actually works for them.
100%. There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
It's all about listening to your body, experimenting, and making adjustments along the way.
Awesome. So to our amazing listener out there, thank you for joining us on this journey.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge, the inspiration, and the confidence
Yeah,
to say goodbye to that back fat and hello to a healthier and happier you.
you got this.
Yes, you got this.